What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Muni Long, and I'm rocking with Leah's Lemonade.
Well, I wish I could give you the tea, but mine's just a little bit tart, and that's why it's called Leah's Lemonade. And I'm real excited because I have a Grammy-winning singer-songwriter. And I mean, listen, I am obsessed with Hours and Hours. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But Monty Long, welcome to the Lemonade Stand.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Now, I have to admit this, and I don't know if you remember this, child, because this was a blur. But at Essence, I was walking around at the end of the night after the concert, and I saw you on the street. And I was like, hey, girl. And we took a picture, and you probably don't remember me because you probably took 10,000 pictures. But
Oh, on the street, what was I doing?
I don't even know because I feel like you were by the little entrance for like,
Oh, yeah, like when I was waiting for my car.
yes, 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 because you were
Yeah,
standing alone. And I was like, is that Money Long?
yeah, I just be minding my business. Yeah.
Listen, and I told you, and I mean this because Hours and Hours, I felt like was such a movement and a moment, but I felt like it was only a movement and a moment for people in fucking love, and I wasn't in love. So I feel like when I get my man, we gotta roll it back. Like I'm gonna play Hours and Hours like it just came out when I get my man.
You
Okay.
know, I heard a lot of single people say a lot of people would DM me and be like, this song makes me want to be in love. So even if you didn't have somebody, the fact that it makes you feel like, dang, I want somebody, mission accomplished.
I'll be honest with you though. One thing about like songs like Hours and Hours or Ed Sheeran Thinking Out Loud, I always wonder the process of making a song like that because when I heard Hours and Hours, right, or like when I heard Thinking Out Loud, when as a consumer, the first thing I think about is like, damn, somebody loving you like that to make you feel like that to convey that is such a beautiful experience that I don't feel like sometimes a lot of people really experience. Like people in like but don't really be like in love. So
Mhm.
when you're writing songs like that, and we got to get into your new single too, because it's actually another one just like that. But when you're writing songs, especially about love, talk to me about like how you pour or convey that type of feeling in music like
I mean, I felt like that before, even if it was like Delulu, like
that.
it wasn't really that, but I
Mhm.
was. So now I just feel like everybody deserves to know what that feels like to feel like, be head over heels and just like, oh my God, I just love you so much. Like everybody deserves to feel that way, whether it's, you know, with your loved one, your family, your children, your animals. Some people feel that way about, cats and dogs. So it's
Yeah.
like I just think every human being deserves to feel that, to feel like they are loved like that, to love someone like that. That is a irreplaceable. There's nothing else that can replace that feeling, um, except for maybe sleep. Like that's
Right.
probably
True.
the
True.
closest thing for me.
Right.
But yeah, it's just in me to be that, to think about that, to romanticize that. I love romance novels. I love movies that make you feel like, oh my God, like, make you drop a little tear just for how beautiful the love is. I just love love. It's just part of my DNA. So it's not hard. Like, I don't do well with like trying to write like, dance songs or songs about money and wealth and things like that. That's not my main, I don't know, flavor.
Yeah.
But love, I could write about love all day, and all the things about it, the ups and downs.
Hmm.
When you get on my nerves, I can't stand you, but you ain't going nowhere. Like,
Right.
you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Um, I just everything about love and just the different is endless topics that you could write about it. So that's probably always going to be my main voice is
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that, your new single Made for Me. Now listen, I really like this pocket you in, sis, because it's definitely giving me that 90s R&B. I feel like we chasing that so bad, especially millennials. We're very like a nostalgic generation, right? We feel like 90s music was the best, 90s R&B was the best, and this song is giving that. So tell me about like kind of diving into that because I feel like Hours and Hours is a beautiful song and people love it, but it didn't give me 90s quite like this gives me 90s. So why this pocket for you?
I mean, this is definitely like the song when I wrote it. It was definitely in the style of like the way Celine Dion, Mariah, Whitney, how their songs would sound and just using your voice in a dynamic way to tell a story. And the way that it opens up on the chorus is, you know, really hard to sing, by the way. Because when I be singing it live, like halfway through that chorus, I'll be like, I can't breathe. It's like I'll be thinking like, why did you write this like this? Like, where is the breath?
Because you knew
Um,
it was good. Because you knew it was good.
it just makes you want to sing. It's like, you
Hmm.
know, I remember growing up and having those songs that when I heard them, I wanted to try to do that. Um,
Yeah.
so that's really I think the essence of it for me. And then beat wise, because it sounded like things that I was already familiar with, it just only made sense to go to a Jermaine and Brian Michael Cox, who wrote like the most iconic love songs, male and female. I mean, Confessions, like just all the things that they've done. Be Without You, which is like one of the most amazing songs ever, let alone, I think it was on like a bunch of songs of the decade list
Yeah.
too. Um, Mary J. So it's just like, of course, I wanted to get some of that classic nostalgic feeling, but a classic song is a classic song. Like it either is or it is, no matter what kind of drum beat you got.
Hmm.
So I think like things that you want to sing over and over and over, it only makes sense that you'll be doing that for a long time, right? Um, Same way I felt when I did Hours and Hours. Is like I just want to keep hearing this over and over, and my
Yeah.
friends the same way. So it made sense. It wasn't like a surprise that
Yeah.
everything, but it was kind of like, well, shoot, if I feel this way, somebody got to feel the same way that I do, and it just
Right.
gotta, it was a
6 days
lot.
later.
So, yeah, so hopefully everybody, responds to Made for Me the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of R&B, I actually saw an interesting video on social media, and I wanted your opinion. They said that the reason they feel like R&B right now is not as prevalent as it once was is because a lot of millennials aren't in church, and like the church used to breed R&B singers. Like some of our faves started in the church. Do you see that disconnect? Could you see why you see that?
Yeah, I definitely used to lead the praise and worship team. So like I definitely can see, like, one of my frustrations as an artist and musician is like when I want to hear certain chords.
Hmm.
And unless I'm sitting right with you, watching you play it,
Hmm.
um, or unless you know me well enough to make things that I will gravitate towards, which is very few and far between people. It's like a lot of loops. It's like a lot of fast food production. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, I literally will sit there and sift through hundreds of beats to find one. Like
Yeah.
one, no exaggeration. Like I get a beat pack and it'll have like 60 beats in there. I just literally just be like, nope, nope. Okay, that's interesting. Let me skip to the chorus. No, I don't like how the beat drop.
Hmm.
It's like it's literally like I spend like 2 hours just trying to collect beats, and then finally I get enough because I write so fast. It's like I might write 8, 9 songs in one night. So I gotta have enough
Right.
materials to not like waste the 12 hours that I'm in the studio. Um, so that's probably one of my biggest frustrations is like play a chord change, please. Like, where is the color? Give me a diminished something.
Yeah.
Like, where's the bridge? Like,
Yeah.
where's the strings? There's no strings, there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just a loop. Like nobody wanna sing to that.
Hmm.
It doesn't draw the music out of you.
Yeah. Hashtag bring back the bridge, okay? Because R&B music needed the bridge.
What's so funny is I'm getting ready to do a challenge for Made for Me where there was a bridge. They actually produced it with the bridge, but I didn't have time to go back in the studio and write. So we ended up having to put it out the way that it is.
Hmm.
But I'm going to release the bridge music.
Hmm.
Literally, that's what it's going to be. It's like, the most creative, like sing in the rain, take your shirt off,
Yeah.
cry, looking out the window, like,
Begging.
but let's bring back the R&B bridge.
Yeah, it ain't enough music with men begging women. And I feel like that's where we got lost as a society. These Negroes need to beg.
You know what I started doing is like some of my R&B friends, or people that like my peers, like Division is another guy, um, Devin Culture, and Avery, they be singing or Lucky,
Mhm.
and they be singing. I'll be like, take your shirt off. I'll just be messing with them. Like, obviously, I'm married. I'm not looking at them in no type of way, but I just be like, cry, take your shirt off. Like,
Do something. Give
give
us
me something.
something.
You just standing there singing. I don't want to see that. Fall
Yeah,
down on your knees or something.
right. Like, beg me, beg me. You're getting too sassy. Like, come on, beg me, damn it. No, I'm playing. Okay, I wanted to talk to you too about this because I saw it on your page. You were actually singing the single, and you were saying my voice is getting stronger day by day. I saw in an interview you talked about how you kind of hit this point where your voice wasn't the same as it was formerly, and I've had complications vocally as well. Chad, I used to want to be a singer, but I ended up having polyps. I got the whole vocal cord surgery. Things just shifted. So I know how frustrated it can be when your voice was one way and then it's really, really hard to operate it in the next. What has been the regimen for you to kind of gain that strength back?
Just taking care of yourself, focusing on me, focusing on my health, watching what I eat, not being so careless, going to sleep at night. Um, you know, having a humidifier, vaporizer,
Mm,
um, making sure you take your vitamins and things like that. And like I have lots of like black seed oil, things like that. But
mm,
it's really just more like health and health isn't just like physical either. It's like your mental health. Standing up for yourself, advocating for yourself. When you don't really want to do something, don't do it. Like,
yeah,
that stuff you out. Like when you're in a space that you really don't want to be in, that's when I have the most challenges with my vocals. Like it just don't want to come out.
yeah,
So I think part of it was that I was just a people pleaser, yes man. Like I was just saying yes to everything. It's like I didn't want to tell nobody no. Um, and that was very stressful. And because I was stressed out, your voice is a muscle. So it's like if your back is hurting or you're getting cramps all the time and things like that, that's gonna, affect it
yeah.
too eventually. Um, I was always having sinus issues and
Mm,
things like that were really affecting like post nasal drip. So it's just taking care of yourself. When I focus on me, I take care of myself. When somebody offers me something like an opportunity or something, if my first reaction is, oh, that sounds fun, then I do it. But if my first reaction is like, that's what I should be doing, then I don't do it because
yeah,
there's something that God knows and my body knows and my spirit knows that something about that is not going to be good for me. And the most important thing is health because you can't sing if you sick in the bed,
yeah,
and also like I have to take care of my vessel, like my body, to even be able to get up there and sing. Because
yeah,
you, I'm just standing up here singing for 30, 45 minutes, but it's like a full on ab workout,
yeah.
and then that adrenaline and responding to people and
Mm,
paying attention to what the DJ is doing. And then I
mm.
can't hear myself. I'm signaling to the sound guy. I'm aware of everything that's going on. I see you over here with that empty bottle acting like you about to throw it at me. Like it's like there's so many things that you're doing
Right.
when you're on stage. You might see a friend in the audience, you might see a fight brewing. Like there's all these things that you're just hyper turned on at full volume. Or
Yeah,
your mic pack might go out. That just happened to me where it's like I'm performing and like my mic pack just goes out. So it's like, you're always on when you're on that or as soon as you enter the building, you're performing because there's people watching you,
yeah.
oh, that's Money Long. Let me see how she, is she cool? Is she,
Hmm.
I'd be in the room with my friends just being myself, but I can't do that when I'm in, step out that room. So health, you have to take care of yourself. That was a very long way
Yeah.
of saying that.
Yeah, and I kind of want to piggyback on something you said. You talked about like when you don't want to do things anymore, like just making sure that when things no longer serve you, that you are doing things that are intentional for you. I want to point out you said in your Grammy speech that hopefully winning this Grammy, people will hear you for the first time and listen to you then. Tell me about the irony of wanting to be heard in those rooms to a certain point, but in certain parts of your career, they only heard you through the lens of other artists. Talk to me about kind of the frustration there, because I think a lot of people behind the scenes, like songwriters, it's a very much thankless job. They hear the hit, but they don't know the everything that went in the back of it. So talk to me about the duality there of like wanting to be heard, but being heard through other vessels.
I mean, that part wasn't, I feel like there's just as much um, joy in that as there is being on this side of it. I think when I said that, what I was talking about was like there's certain trends that I pointed out. There's
Mhm.
certain things that I said. Like 3 years ago, I had this idea of um, forever artist, which is like, what Facebook is doing now with like AI.
Mhm.
But I wanted to do it in a way where it's like maybe there's an artist that, like a Louis Capaldi who has Tourette's and he can't always perform.
Mhm.
So you could have your AI person do it for you, you know, um, in a very wholesome way and not in any way that would like monopolize or manipulate and take advantage of artists, but as a tool. I said this 3 years ago, like full body scan, whatever it is. I mean, the plan that I had wasn't necessarily what we're doing now because it's not needed. Like the technology has advanced way ahead, but I came up with the idea in quarantine because we didn't know we were going to be able to be outside for a while. So everybody laughed. Everybody was like, "Oh, we don't know, Dustin. That's not going to do anything." Boom! 3 years later, what is Facebook doing? So it's like that's what I meant when I said be heard. Is like I have these ideas. I had the idea back in 2010 to sew some tracks inside of a beanie. Like I was like, yo, I could just sew this in here and put it on a hat here. It's
Everywhere.
like one of the most like biggest things on Amazon. Like people use that all the time. It's like it's so
Yeah.
normal now. Um, so like I have these ideas sometimes that people will just be like, that's not possible. And then you do it or it gets done and they go, oh wow, that's crazy. You was talking about that 3 years ago. Yeah, I was. You
Okay,
know,
I was on it and I heard it. And y'all late to the party. Okay, real quick, they're wrapping us up, but I have one last question for you. Is there a song that you gave to another artist that you wish you would have kept for yourself?
no, no. Because if you do that, like if you walk into the room with that energy, it's gonna stick on the song and stink it up. And it's
Mhm.
like, it limits how far the song how far the song can go. And then again, back to doing things that you don't want to be doing. Like you shouldn't be accepting sessions that, you aren't gonna go in and do your 100% best. I never felt like that. Now there were some songs that, you know, um, excuse my language, that I felt like when I left the room, the producers molested it. And it's not that is not the song that I made. What the heck? And it came out and I was like, don't put my name on that. But
Mm, wow.
um there wasn't anything that I ever wrote for another artist or gave to another artist that I felt like should have been mine.
Mm. Well, that's a good perspective to have because I know too, and we gotta go, but people took some of your work and gave it to other people. But we won't get on that no more. Anyway, Money Long, no, I seriously thank you so much for stopping by. I'm super excited for your project, super excited for the single and to get that bridge. And let everybody know where they can follow you, get all your music and anything you got coming out that you want to promote.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Money Long. You can follow me across all social media platforms at MUNILONG Money Long. Music available across all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, all those things. Title. So whatever you use, hopefully you go on there and listen to Money Long. Make your little playlist, light some candles, set the mood, get you a glass of wine.
We love it.
Out.
We will. Thank you so much. And lemonade stand, grab a cup, throw it back, and sip on all of that.